Hi everybody, this is Alchemist2, and I'm back again with another movie review. This film was actually made in 1997, and it has Glenn Close as Adelaide. Forget her last name in it, but she's an extremely important character in this documentary based on a true story. It's called Paradise Road. I'm going to read the synopsis on the back because it's better than what I will tell you about the film, but it says, in a time before an extraordinary group of women turned a song of hope into a symphony of triumph. From the director of Driving Miss Daisy comes a true story of courage, triumph, friendship, and strength, starring Glenn Close, Oscar winner Frances McDormand, and Emmy Award winner Juliana Margulies. This compelling drama reveals the heroic actions of a group of women held prisoner by the Japanese during World War II. These diverse women from different countries, speaking different languages, unite to form a vocal orchestra, creating a life-affirming symphony of human voices. And if you watch it all the way through, it's kind of difficult to actually endure all the hardships that the women suffered, but they didn't sugarcoat this history at all, which I prefer. I like to see my history untainted and unspoiled and told truthfully. And their captors did not treat them well at all, unlike the Japanese POW camps. I've read a lot of stories about these. Had I been a prisoner of war, I would have actually preferred to have been in an Italian prisoner of war camp, because at least you got really good food and you had fairly pleasant accommodations. It was like a 4-star hotel compared to what they had in Burma or wherever it was. They were in Singapore, and then they headed to Jakarta. Well, it was close to that area. It was just in the jungle, and they had malaria, beriberi, and dysentery when they were there. It was just absolutely atrocious conditions, just abhorrent. And you could see the women suffering from these conditions as they were in the camps, and a lot of them died when they were there, and they actually show this when they go on Paradise Road, which is kind of ironic that they called it that. But Margaret, she's the English woman with the linen glasses. She's the one that always reads them poetry at their passing, gives them proper burials, and it's very heart-wrenching to watch that. And watching the film the entire way through, it was very challenging for me, because I'm a World War II buff, and this is my realm of expertise. And I knew it was bad. I didn't know it was that awful. And it was just a wretched case of inhumanity. And some of the women who were brought to the prisoner of war camps themselves were just as bad or worse than their captors, because they were just backbiting little wenches, and they were fighting over paltry trivial things like soap, and they weren't nice to the other women who were Dutch, and they didn't speak English that well. But there was one woman in there who reminded me of a friend of mine who I haven't seen forever. Her name's Anna, and if you're out there listening to this right now, Anna, I miss you dearly, and I'm still online. I'm on Facebook, and you can find me there. I know where you are. You're not that far away from the red light district. Please answer me. Maybe she will. I'm hoping that she does, because I haven't heard from her in years, and she's kind of like a sister to me. She's a really good-hearted young lady who is so creative, and I'm just so glad to call her my sister, even though I haven't heard from her in eons. But I'm very fortunate, but I'm not going to go into that. I'm just glad that I have her as a friend. This actually speaks of friendship in and of itself, and the spirit of determination. Determination is a big theme in this particular documentary. Um, it's really quite remarkable. Glenn Close's character is instrumental in setting up the vocal choir. It actually changes a lot of things during the movie itself, and though it's very hard to get through, and a lot of times you're just sitting there and you have tears running down your face just because of the cruelty and the the mere savagery of it all. And that was what the war is. War is hell, and it is very true. One of the characters, Wing, God love her, she was going out and getting contraband, or, well, she was getting quinine for the malaria, particularly for one of the elder women who was there and was sick with malaria, and um, she gets burned alive. Yeah, that scene was just horrifying to watch, but it shows the absolute desperation that was occurring during that time. And of course, we know how the war ended, and thank God that it ended when it did. And actually, if you want to know the truth of it, the real war that, and this is my theory, but World War II really didn't end until the 80s when the Berlin Wall fell. But I have my own thoughts behind that, and I'm not going to go into it right now. But the whole idea of this man's inhumanity to men, or woman's inhumanity and cruelty to other women, just their women are, I don't mean to demean my own sex, but women can be real bitches when they want to be, and it shows that, and just how mean and cruel and despicable the women were to one another is just absolutely awful. But even though it's a very sad film, there's a lot of goodness to it through music. And at the very end, I thought it was absolutely fascinating that they said the music that was used in the film itself was the music that they actually sang, and it survived. The music survived. I was absolutely dumbstruck. I was in awe. I could not fathom, let alone process, how this music could have survived such an ordeal. But nevertheless, this film is still very uplifting in and of itself, even though it's very heart-wrenching. I would call this a tearjerker, but it is a historical documentary. If you're a World War II fan and buff, you have to see this movie because it is really very well done. It's excellent, and it is a tremendous film, and I give it 2 thumbs up and 5 stars, even though it's very hard to watch in certain scenes. It's kind of like, for me, a similar film would be Schindler's List. I can watch Schindler's List. I can't get through it without crying, though. The only movie I can say that I would never, ever watch again would be The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. Just because just, I can't even talk about it without not trying to break down, and it's just horrendous. And I recommend it. It's a really good movie, but it's just, it sticks in your mind, and even after years since not seeing that film, I can't watch it. I cannot watch that movie. I can't. I won't. I just, if they want to keep it in a Holocaust museum where it belongs, where it can show the true nature of the Holocaust and everybody who survived, well, people who survived it, most people actually died. But it's one of those movies. This movie is among, yeah, it actually gets to that point, and I'm keeping it in my archives. I don't know if I could watch it again if I had to, or if I were trying to teach a lesson as to this is what you do not want to become. This is why you do not want to start a war. Wars are stupid and ignorant, and they don't do anybody any good. And this is why you should not have a battle, because in the end, people die. And for what? What's the purpose? It's just that the whole nonsensical, um, didactic methodology to it, I think, and it's a very pedantic film in that sense, that it just shows you why people shouldn't be doing such things to other people, just because it really isn't the way to exist. This is not how we should treat each other. We're all human beings, and I'm a pacifist. I'm the type of person who likes to settle a disagreement over, a nice cold glass of soda or water or milk, whatever. I don't drink alcohol, so yeah, you probably think, hey, you don't do anything fun for yourself. Yeah, prude. Well, yeah, I have reasons why I stay away from alcohol, and it's because my father's side of the family has proclivities toward becoming drunk, so I don't put a bullet in that gun. Period. Anywho, going back onto the track of my train of thought. Before it derailed, um, this movie is very excellently done. Glenn Close, she performs marvelously as Adelaide, and the whole fact that it was an actual story makes it even more intriguing. I think it's just fascinating. And the fact that they survived, just that whole determination factor, the perseverance, the will, yeah, the whole survivorship, I think, was what was truly enlightening, and what gave me the zest to continue, even though you think, oh my god, it can't get any worse. And it does actually get worse for the women, but for those who survive, they do so in such a way that just makes you realize that there are good qualities. And when one of the most wonderful things that we have as human beings is the gift of music, and music in and of itself, this proves that music is a very, very powerful element, because I believe its main ingredient, or essence, is that of imagination and creativity, and the very innermost workings of its math. It has love at the very, very base, the matrix, I think. I don't know, this is just me going off on philosophical ranting, so if you don't understand me, don't pay any attention to me, but that's just my feeling and my instinct about what music truly embodies. And this is what the film is really getting at its core, and that's what I feel is why it is so grand.